Good morning. A few weeks ago on Patreon, I asked people to submit questions for another Q&A video. Rather than trying to do a live stream, which didn't work last time because no one was available, I thought I would do it this way. And I had a few interesting questions. So let's work our way through them. Adrian is a long-term supporter and follower of my photography, and I appreciate you very much. Thank you very much, Adrian. He asked if I had any specific plans for my photography in 2021. There were a few plans that I did have in mind, but earlier in this year, but then COVID kind of kiboshed all of them. The first one was the 1st of February next year will be the 10th anniversary of the opening night from my first ever solo gallery exhibition, which I called Shrouded in 2011. And I had thought about working towards another exhibition to open to celebrate that 10th anniversary, but with studios not being available for a large chunk of the year and not knowing how I could approach photography, it killed that strategy. Because for a gallery exhibition, I want to do a cohesive, themed set of shoots that all work well together, work independently, but have an overall theme and style to them. So I couldn't plan for that, and now there's not enough time. So that didn't happen. The other thing I had thought about doing at the suggestion of a couple of people was a download of self-portraits. That was very confronting, and I actually started shooting that. I did a couple of shoots, and then at the start of COVID I did one and I freaked myself out because I was looking at my own face in too much detail and too closely, so that idea went out the window as well for the time being. It will come back. Also, COVID meant, like everyone, I took up baking and eating too much, so my body is in no shape for me to feel comfortable in front of a camera. One thing I've found with my photography and other people's photography is that photographing yourself is how you see yourself. Someone else photographing you feels actually in some ways much more comfortable. Firstly, you don't have to worry about the technicality side of things, and secondly, it's how someone else sees you. So you can put aside your own self-doubt and insecurities and just go with someone else's vision of you, which is great. I've done that a few times and I actually quite enjoy it, but I won't do it again until I'm in shape either. So no solo gallery exhibition and no self-portrait series at the moment. There are lots of technical issues with trying to take your own self-portrait, which I was trying to get my head around as well. It's a challenging beast. I will throw up some examples of what I had shot as a starting place, and I think there's some interesting things there. The download of self-portraits was going to be a lot of different shoots, different themes, different ideas, different locations, different setups, just to keep myself entertained. But that's a longer term project, I think. I don't want to give myself a timeline on that one at this stage. Another follower of mine and good friend, Colin, has asked, is there any of my models that I would want to work with again or more? And I know who he's referring to and he wants me to work with. It's another one of our very good friends and his best mate, Tom, who's been a very popular model of mine. I have worked with Tom on 4 different shoots now. So we did Early Morning, which is a winter nude beach shoot, but Tom was brave and incredible. Then we did one called River when we were all camping. Then we did Home Gym in Tom's own home gym, where he does actually work out naked sometimes. And then we did Haunted, which was a collaborative effort for him to use to raise money for a post-traumatic stress disorder charity that he is involved with. So he is one model that I will work with anytime there is an opportunity. He looks amazing, he's a great guy, and he's just a good friend. So definitely him. Most of my models I would happily work with again. There are some that I work with on different projects to others. David Collins is one that I would work with. I could throw any bonkers idea at him and he would be up for it. He's also an artist, and he's beautiful and he's talented and he's up for a challenge. Most of my models are beautiful, and I'm very lucky in that most of them are lovely people as well. So any one of them just about I would happily work with again. There's a couple that I won't, but I won't name names. And a question that I'm not sure how to answer was from someone else that I won't name. They asked if I would ever adjust a model's genitals on a shoot, because they've seen in videos other photographers doing it. The short answer is no. I've seen some of the videos that he's talking about, and those photographers are crossing a line, in my opinion, from being a photographer to creating adult content, and part of what they're selling is the video of them touching the model, not the end result of the photo shoot. And that's more of an OnlyFans situation. It's a fantasy for the viewer. For me, there is absolutely no need to touch a model unless I'm body painting them. Sometimes I will move an arm if they're not quite understanding what I'm suggesting and the direction that I'm giving, but there is no reason to touch a model's genitals. For me, that's crossing a line. The models are usually younger than me, more attractive than me, they're naked, I'm not naked. There's a power play, a power issue at play. They are much more vulnerable, and we've seen with the Me Too movement and people taking advantage of models and actresses and actors, etc. It's just not something I want to do. So, short answer no, long answer no. And that's about all the questions I had. So if you have any more questions, feel free to send them through and I will include them. Thanks.